Welcome aboard Free Dive with Seapoint Digital, your go-to podcast for deep dives into the world of digital marketing. I'm Christy.
And I'm Anna Lynn.
Your hosts navigating through the currents of growth, strategy, and innovation in the digital realm.
We're going to talk. We're going to laugh. It's going to be a good time.
Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Free Dive podcast. I am, of course, your host, Christy Billingsley. We're starting off this episode today with some true confessions of a podcaster. So this episode I've already recorded once. And we're just going to go down a confession rabbit hole here. I recorded this episode, and like many of the episodes that I record that I try to do, I listen to it in my car on my drive because I liked to check the audio quality before I give it to the world. And I became super unhappy with the audio quality because I was talking too fast and super breathy, and the imposter syndrome in me just could not. I tried editing it and I was just like, even if I edit out all the breathiness, then it's still gonna, I'm still talking like 10 miles a minute. And that's a little bit who I am as a person. And it was a little bit like, why is she going through this material so freaking fast? So, yeah, it was kind of like, chill, lady, chill. I'm trying to keep up and I can't. You need to relax. I have not been relaxed a day in my life. That's just not who I am. Don't know how to relax. I don't do it. I think part of me doesn't believe in it. So I think it was more of like, time to slow down. I became very self-conscious and aware of how much I breathe. Didn't love that. So as you listen to this, please ignore how much I breathe. Right now I'm losing my air. Anyway, this podcast journey really makes you take a look in the mirror at yourself. If you cannot take criticism and you can walk away from this not hating yourself, thumbs up. So we're re-recording. I don't look as cute as I did the first time, but if that's why you're here, that shouldn't be why you're here. If that is why you're here, sorry to disappoint you. Things just happen. So on with the show, and hopefully I can do it just as well, if not better, the second time around. So now that you know all of my insecurities, we are going to move forward with the episode. Today we are doing the much awaited for and requested episode on LinkedIn. There I go with my breathing again. So I had put up a poll. I have been asking, what do you guys want to hear about the next time around for Social Savvy? And 100% of people said, we want LinkedIn. We don't know how to use LinkedIn. It's foreign. It's scary. We don't know how to set up our profile. We don't know how to interact on it. Everyone wanted LinkedIn. So here I am with all of the LinkedIn strategy for you. I requested for an actual LinkedIn professional to come be on the podcast and give you the inside scoop for realsies, but I was ghosted. So instead, I went to a LinkedIn training for you. And in addition to that, did tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of research and workshopping. And I have brought you all of my notes on that, so we can do a little bit of a intro to LinkedIn together. So we're just going to kind of go into the basics, and we can set you up a LinkedIn profile the best way that we know how. So if you are driving and unable to watch the video version of this, you may want to watch again and watch the video version, because unfortunately, I'm going to have to put up some visuals on the screen so that you know what I'm talking about. And you may like to take notes. Or if you want to listen to this over and over and over again, that would be great for my engagement, and I'm not going to argue about it. So you do you, boo. All right. So we're just going to start from the beginning, work our way through, and I'm going to talk slower this time. Okie dokie. All right. So I'm going to keep my LinkedIn page here up while I go through this so that I don't get lost. Okay, so let's start with our profile pictures. Nice and easy. And in telling you about this, I also am going to tell you a funny story. So strap in. So your profile picture needs to be close up, looking at the camera, and smiling. Seems pretty straightforward and obvious. So this makes it personal, right? We want this photo to be up to date, and you need to be dressed appropriately. We don't want to over accessorize. And another one that seems pretty obvious, isn't obvious to everybody. You don't want alcohol in your image ever. So sometimes you're at an event and you're holding some alcohol. Don't use that as your image. Okay. So thinking about this, social photos do not cross promote. Not usually. So the image that you might use for your Facebook profile picture, your Instagram profile picture, it's not necessarily the same one you're going to want to use for your LinkedIn profile picture. It needs to be professional. It needs to have these other specific specifications for it. If you're not sure if the photo that you've picked works, you can ask people you know, or story time. You can use a tool. In looking for tools, I found this quote unquote tool called photofeeler.com. I'm just going to stop right there and tell you, I am not encouraging you to use this tool. In searching for a tool that I could recommend to you, I found this. Does anyone my age, millennials in the room, back in early 2000s, we thought it was a good idea. We used to, some of us, go on the internet and go to a website called Rate My Face, ratemyface.com. Anybody else? So we would put up pictures of our face on the internet and ask strangers on the internet to rate our face 0 to 10. And we always kind of like played it cool, just being like, yeah, just like, you can rate me a 0, I don't care. And we just like wanted people to vote us 10s, and like it gave you like the top people that were voted like the hottest on the internet. Why did we do this, guys? I don't know. It's the early days of the internet, and we didn't think. I mean, now we often don't think how we use the internet, but that's how we were using the internet back then. Photofeeler.com, similar vibe. And I tested it out for you just to see what would happen. And I felt very much like I was using ratemyface.com. And unfortunately, in testing it out for you, I could not figure out how to take my photo down. I was like, okay, this is a mistake immediately. I thought it was going to be like an AI processor would run my picture through and be like, oh, it rates like this based on these things. No. It was like, great, thanks for your photo. We're going to keep it. People will be rating it over the next week. I'm like, oh, if I knew that. But if that's your thing, you can do that. No idea how secure and safe this website is, and don't come to me if you start getting any kind of viruses on your computer. Just know that exists. You heard it here, unless you didn't. Moving on to your background header photo. So this is a place to advertise, market more information, and there's a few different things that you could do here. So it's more branding for you as a person, you as your business. I've seen this done several different ways. So for me personally, in the past, I've used this to, put like a drone photo. That's my brand. Right now I have it promoting my podcast, Free Dive Podcast. Listen now on your favorite streaming platform, and it has my logo. Another one that I was just looking at, of this lady, just like has her tagline, unleash your legacy. Her website's like really small at the bottom. It says that she's a coach, whatever. So C points, I'm still figuring out exactly what I want to do with it. It's just kind of branded, but if we like want to put like a tagline or something on it, but you can have fun with this a little bit. You should have one. There are certain specifications sizing wise that you need, and it's really fussy how to set it up. I wish I had written down the specifications, and I didn't do that last time, and I didn't do it this time. But anyway, maybe I can put it on the screen here, and yeah, make sure you make it the right size so it fits and it doesn't look funny, and your profile picture doesn't block any important copy on the image. Got it? Okay. Now, moving on to more important things. Your headline. So your headline is what appears underneath your name. And a lot of times people just use this as whatever their job title is. We're not doing that. We're going to get a little bit more creative with it. Instead of your job title, we want it to be about who you help and how do you help them. So for me, I used to just have it as that I am a multimedia coordinator, or it might have just said I was a licensed drone pilot. I have reworked it. Now it says helping brands look their best with Matterport and multimedia magic, licensed drone pilot and podcast producer. So it's giving more. Who do I help and how do I help them? You now know who I'm helping, and also how I'm helping them. I'm helping brands look their best. On C points, digital marketing that delivers, fueling growth for financial institutions, insurance, e-commerce, and real estate. So you know who we help and you know how we do it. So you are limited in character use. So you may want to use, if you're running over or you're not sure, the tip I'm always going to be forever giving you, use ChatGPT to help you get within your character limit and spruce up that little section. Okay, so now going down to the featured section. You might not even know that this exists. What this is and how you use it is basically think about how you use pinned posts on Instagram, TikTok, posts that you have put on LinkedIn that you want to basically highlight. So this could be posts, this could be things that you want to link. So this is just a place to highlight content that is important to you, important to your brand. So the purpose of this is to just add value and create helpful resources. You can, as an option, something that I was taught in my thing that I went to, words are escaping me, is Vivica von Rossen. She's the person that I went to, her training. That's the word I wanted. Training that I went to. On hers, basically what she has done to make it look like a cool little banner is 3 images, and then she put links in there to link different resources. So you can kind of get a little bit creative with it. Use it to highlight things that are important to you and your brand and your company. Got it? All right. Now the big one, your about section. So this is commonly confused with a section that is a resume. This is not your resume. LinkedIn is not your resume. It is a resource. When people find you, this is a resource to learn more about you, learn more about your company, learn more about your brand. Okay, so we're not going to list it out the way that you would on a resume. That's what your resume is for. So you're going to use this section to tell a captivating story about you, about your brand, about your company. So we're going to write it like a story. We're trying to use it to attract a new audience. So what I have done with mine used to be written very much in a resume fashion. Here are all the different skills that I have and when I got them and why I'm amazing at them. Scratching that, it's written very much more of storytelling now. Used a bold statement to start it. Mine starts with, you might catch me with my head in the clouds, literally. That referring to being a pilot draws you into my story. There's something exhilarating about being up there, capturing the world from a different perspective. As a multimedia coordinator, I'm obsessed with turning creative visions into reality, and I find joy in every moment of the journey. Then I go into, why I have love for video creation and photography, why I have a passion for what I do, how I fell into Matterport. I'm a pilot and why I love it. And I have this new passion for podcasting, years of customer relations, and why that's important to what I do now. And then I end with a call to action. If you're ready to elevate your multimedia projects and marketing endeavors, let's connect. I'd love to bring your vision to life. You can find me on Twitter. So it just kind of, it groups in all the things that about me and things I do, puts it into a story, tells you how to find me, how to connect with me. So it creates this more interesting version of who Christy is, rather than just like, here's a list of my skills, because that goes in the skills section. So now we're going to about section for C Point. Similar thing, because this is a company. We started out with a question. Is your marketing delivering the results you need to stand out and grow? At C Point Digital, we fuel success for financial institutions, insurance agencies, real estate firms, and e-commerce brands with cutting-edge digital marketing strategies. From SEO and marketing automation to campaign planning and strategy development, we provide the solutions you need to thrive. And then we kind of go into a little bit of the history of our company, with being the first in New England to do Matterport. We have a drone pilot. We're a HubSpot partner. Tune into our podcast. Ready to transform your digital presence? Let's connect today. Start with something bold, or a statement or question. End with a call to action. All right, storytelling. All right, that seems it's simpler than you think. If you need help, let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a list of to-dos, and these are things that you can do and things you must do, all right, to make your profile look its best. So we're going to start with the things that you need to do, must-dos first. Prepare yourself. Am I going too fast? I'm very, very aware of it. I'm very aware of my breathing. First thing to do, customize your URL. If your current URL is anything but linkedin.com/your name, you need to edit it. It's not difficult. You go into your settings and you just switch it to what you want it to be, your name, your company. It's not hard. You need to verify your account. As an individual, Christy Billingsley, I was able to do this with ease. As of right now, we are in November of 2024. Depending on when you are watching or listening to this episode, it is currently free to do that, to verify. So do it now while you can, before they're on to us and they start charging us. Do it now. Now, at the same time, when I went to go verify C Point, they were like weird about it. It was like, okay, thanks for your request to verify. We'll get back to you. And that it's been forever and they haven't gotten back to me. So I don't know what the hangup is. I didn't have to submit, in my memory, I didn't have to submit anything. Like when I have tried to verify us on Instagram and TikTok and stuff in the past, you have to submit all this crap. Like here, give us proof of your company's business ID and like send us like proof of your mail. Like it's complicated. LinkedIn didn't make me do that. They were like, just request it. But then for the company page, they have not done it for me yet. I don't know why. But my point is, do it. Ask for it, especially just as an individual. Do it on your personal page. For when I did it for me, it just went through right away. I didn't have any kind of fuss about it. So that's on your to-do list. Now, we're going to go to your skills and licenses or certificates. So this is easy. When you're adding your top skills, it's almost just like typing in a whole bunch of, it's like the way you type in keywords. You're just keywording all your skills, like digital marketing, social media marketing, drone piloting, Matterport, video production. Like you're just like typing them all in so that they appear. I don't really know if there's a limit or not, but and then same with licenses and certifications. So like when I got my pilot's license, I put that on there. HubSpot certifications, for instance, put that on there, whatever it is. Your education and experience. So again, think of this not as a resume as a resume in the sense that when you write your resume, you don't need to write that you worked at an ice cream parlor when you were 16. That's not pertinent to what you are doing now in your career. Unless it is, unless you are somehow working at that ice cream parlor has something to do with whatever you're doing now. But leave all of those things out and put on your experience, the things that currently pertain to your career, and get them in there. That's everything that you must do. All right. Now we're going to go into things that are optional. Projects. So projects could be, I feel like it's like kind of anything. Like I did a triathlon in 2015. I put that in there, and it's just, this is like your bragging section. Cool things that I've done for the community if you have volunteered. So, in here, I get to brag about how I was a triathlete for 1 second. It supported breast cancer. And I get to kind of, rather than brag about me, brag about, this amazing triathlon that has been supporting breast cancer survivors for however many years. But if you have done any kind of special training that wouldn't really go in the licensing section, or you have volunteered somewhere or whatever, that would go in that section. That's just like you can do that if you want, optional. Okay, leaving a 10-second voice memo. You can only do this on mobile, so you would need to get the mobile app and record it on your phone. The point of this is really so that people can hear your voice. It's more of a personalization, identification. It pops up kind of next to where your name is verified. I haven't done this for mine yet. I don't know what to say still. I've been listening to a lot of, I don't see it on a lot of LinkedIn accounts. And so when I do, I think, oh, this person knows what they're doing. Like they are LinkedIn savvy. And I think that's another advantage of doing it. So it's just kind of like, here's who I am, here's what I help. It's kind of similar um, to the headline, but it's a way that you get to hear her voice. So again, something that you can do if you want, you don't have to. Ring the bell message to encourage subscribers. So on your page, you have a bell. You can subscribe on LinkedIn. That was something new to me that I learned when I was doing all of this research. I was like, oh, I don't know why people would subscribe to my content, but they can and they should, especially for your company pages. So Vivica's suggestion was to create this sort of ring the bell statement. You can even put it in your header banner, to kind of point, because it's right beneath it, like ring our bell, to encourage people to subscribe. You could word it another way if you wanted, like just subscribe and whatever. Encourage people to subscribe is the point, so that they see your content first, subscribe to other people's content. You get that exchange back and forth. Turn on job notifications. So this would go both ways. If your company is hiring, if you are looking for work, this is just a great way to kind of get yourself out there either way. Activate campaigns. Again, just an option for you as a company. Turn on away messages. You can only do this with premium. So it just kind of depends on what kind of DMer you are, and messages kind of flooding in all the time. If you don't like leaving people hanging and you want to kick back to the AIM days, AIM, AOL, whatever, you can have an away message. All right, so that's the end of our to-do list. So now we're going to go into how to engage. So both creating your own posts and engaging on other people's posts. So first we're going to talk about writing our own posts, our own content. And we're going to kind of think back for a second. If you listened to, I think it was last month's Social Savvy episode. If you haven't, I recommend it, because it was a lot about this, how to write content for the specific tone of each social platform. But the highlights on that for LinkedIn are your your content for LinkedIn, the tone of it, you want to be professional, it's insightful, and it's conversational. You're provoking people to have conversation with you in these posts. So here's what you want to focus on. You want to focus on your brand and buyer persona. That is true both of when you're writing for your company or you are writing for yourself as an individual. Create content that builds authority and position yourself as a go-to expert. Clarify the pain points and needs of your audience. So again, you are writing content that is helpful to your audience. I'm just kind of reiterating what I already said. And you are the expert in your field. So what are the things that people are struggling with? Why do you want them to keep coming back to you for that information? It doesn't have to be a blog in each post. Now, the posts that do the best on LinkedIn statistically are employee appreciation and acknowledgement. So just whatever that means to you, thought leadership type of posts. I was thinking that I'm working on getting better myself at engaging more on my LinkedIn. This has just been like an ongoing learning curve for myself as well. Now that I have this knowledge, education, like I can get better at it. So I'm hoping that that will be true for you if you're struggling. But I think it was last week or week before, one of my coworkers, Annalyn, you know Annalyn, one of my coworkers, Annalyn, you should know her, posted on LinkedIn about what we did for Bill for Bosses Day. And I thought that her post was so perfect because she was just highlighting this like silly thing that we did for Bill, but at the same time, she took it as an opportunity to show the importance of celebrating Bill, why having fun on that day was so important. Like she worded it so beautifully. And I was just like, oh man, she nailed that. And I just reposted it. Things like that do the best because people, the audience on LinkedIn, that's the kind of stuff like they want to celebrate other people. It's very insightful while remaining professional and it creates conversation. So perfect. You can share industry knowledge, which again is similar, going back to positioning yourself on having authority. And here's one that you want to proceed cautiously with. You can create posts with an educated, opinionated topic. So, I mean, you think about it, people love sharing their opinion. They love it. And even more, people love controversy. People love poking in to the internet, any social platform, and giving an alternate view and disagreeing with the people on the internet. So now on LinkedIn, this is a more professional platform. This is not where people come to get feisty generally. And I don't recommend starting fights, but it is because it's a good place for conversation. This is a good place to, drop your opinion on a matter in your industry. Ask what other people think. Use polls, provoke people with a question, get the conversation started. So if you're not sure what to post about, that would be a great way to get a conversation going, get a short post out there, especially with polls. All right. Was that okay? Did it make sense? Did I move too fast? We got it? Okay, we're almost done, basically. So now we're going to go into responding to comments and DMs and responding on other people's posts because this feels like it's one of the hardest things for everybody. This was the feedback I was getting, and it was for me too. I'm working on getting better at this. We can do it together. So responding to comments and DMs. Simple rule, do it authentically. Respond to all of them. That feels daunting. You can do it. You create LinkedIn relationships this way. Especially when it comes to DMs, I feel like you can tell. My personal rule for myself, I can tell when things are just spammy. and I'm not going to respond to those ones. I just don't have time for your spam sales pitch. It's just, especially when that's not authentic to me. But when people drop you congrats on your work anniversary things, I saw your post and it feels like it's not a bot and it's real, those ones I will respond to. But especially when people comment on your posts, you need to respond back to all of them. um, and just respond like yourself. It doesn't need to be this stiff, um, how do I respond like a professional person, stuffy. Just respond like yourself. You keep it professional, but be yourself. Um, Even just thank people. Thank you for commenting. Like, whatever. Um, and on others' posts in your feed, add value. Don't be afraid to share a different point of view. Going back to people love sharing their opinions, people love to argue. Um, People like a different point of view, and it creates engagement for them. Be genuine, offer congratulations, encourage further discussion. So, again, um, offering an additional thought, even if it's not a different thought, furthering that discussion, it gets them more engagement. It's kind of funny. I've been creating for myself the more I've been doing this, what I have just kind of thought of for myself as new LinkedIn friends. And the more I've done this, the more they've been commenting on my posts, the more I've been commenting more on their posts. And it's like, I now have a lot more back and forth with certain people because we're now like volleying back and forth with each other. And I can now rely on those people to be liking all of my posts. And same with them. I like way more of their posts now. So you start building up this audience of, in my case, strangers on the internet that are like my LinkedIn friends. So anyway, it works. If all else fails, ask questions. People appreciate engagement. So these hopefully are foolproof methods for you. Don't be scared, I guess, is how I would end that. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just LinkedIn, guys. You can do it. I do think it's important to exist there. I do think it's important to engage there. Certainly if you are a business and a brand. But if you exist in the business realm, having a profile for yourself as an individual also important. People want to come find you, and that feels creepy, but it's true. I think most companies expect their employees to be on LinkedIn in some capacity. So now that you have all of this and these to-dos to do, hopefully it's enough that you feel like you can get in there and spruce up your profile a little bit and feel a little bit better about it. It's not that scary. This is just a little bit of an intro for you of how to do that. I hope that it was helpful. If you do end up adjusting your profile at all, please connect with me. Connect with me anyway. I would love to see the transformation of your profile, especially if I can say it's because of me. Like, I would love to be able to congratulate myself because of this. So please let me feel like my efforts are not in vain, especially because I recorded this twice. Please let me feel like it was not for nothing. What do you guys want to talk about next? I clearly am willing to go to many lengths for you to help you with your social media problems. So I'm here for you. Thank you so much for being here for me. This podcast ride has been kind of wild. So we're having fun. We're having a lot of anxiety, a lot of imposter syndrome, and we're getting over it, really. We've got some good episodes coming up. We've had some good, I've just had a bunch of fun guests that I've had on. I am kind of stalking out people that I want to be guests coming on. If you are a person in the marketing realm listening and you feel like you have some insightful and helpful information for my audience, hit me up on LinkedIn and we can talk. So yeah, if there's topics and things you guys want to hear about, I'm open to it. I am here and I am open. So I appreciate you being here. Hope this was helpful. Please leave me comments and all that stuff so I know how to proceed in the future. I always want to be better for you. So thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time. It's the end.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's always more.
Don't be sad. You can catch our full video interviews on our YouTube channel. Come find us.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that we're not sad.
And follow us on TikTok.
And Instagram.
It'll make your day happier, promise.
And we'll know if you do. Until next time.